Hey everyone, it's Matt Mascarenhas, and I'm a junior here at Wyoming Seminary. Today I'm joined alongside
Jayce Decker, senior here at Wyoming Seminary.
And the two of us are going to be starting a new SEM Sports talk show, if you would like to call it, or actually bringing back an old one that never really made it out of the drawing board, the SEM Sports Spotlight. Jayce, do you want to just give a quick little rundown of what this is going to be about?
Yeah, so essentially what this is going to be is that we're just going to take like a recap from the last week or the last weekend of SEM sporting events and just kind of condense it all together in a nice video for everyone to see.
And in addition to that, we're hopeful to have some student interviews on here too. I know I do a lot of them. I'm sure you've seen Jayce's face on the YOSEM Athletics, social media pages as well.
Yeah, so Matt, let's just get right off the start here, right? Start talking off about boys basketball on Friday night against the Hanover area Hawkeyes. You had a pretty good performance in the JV game, I'd say, but
I appreciate that.
Star of the show is the varsity game. So what happened there, Matt?
I mean, it was honestly a great comeback effort for the Blue Knights. Down in the first half, in the first quarter, especially to a very slow start from us. They're kind of lethargic, to be honest with you. But, we find our footing as we do in most games. Senior Antec Yvonne really showing great leadership in the last 2-minute stretch of the first half. Things weren't really going our way. I believe it might have been a 6 to 7 point game, but I think we trimmed it down to 1 at the half.
Yeah, I think it was a really, really close game at the half. And I mean, we just lately, especially since the additions of Jaden Arterberry and Isaiah Reyes to the team, it's just been a completely different team in the second half. I mean, even going back against like Berwick, we were down at the half. It wasn't looking great for us, especially a team that Wyoming Seminary basketball, no offense, not really known for its big second half comebacks, but great second half performance against Berwick, obviously, to get the win against a really good team like that. And then honestly, a really good second half performance against Hanover to get the win against a team that we haven't beaten in like 3-4 years or so.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, we haven't beaten Hanover in 3-4 years. I think the seniors on our team up until this point in their basketball careers, they haven't beaten the Hawkeyes. So to get a win like that against, one of our rivals, I would say, or maybe it's not really a rivalry since we haven't really beaten them. Some could say that. Maybe it's like the Chiefs Bill as you saw last night.
You could say that, yeah. You could say that.
Game. Shout out Patrick Mahomes.
Also, really strong performances from seniors Antec Yvonne and Teddy Krause, both in double figures again for, I believe, the second game in a row. So their scoring is really helping us out. Big shout out to Jaden Arterberry, who shot, I believe, 10 free throws in the fourth quarter. Made a good chunk of them and really helped us put that game away.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the Antec and Teddy, duo, I'd like to add Brian Leahy in there. Shout out to him.
For sure.
Against Berwick, who's a very formidable opponent. And, most people coming into the game would have SEM as the underdog, even at home. And Antec Yvonne, 18-point performance. Teddy Krause, 15 points. And Brian Leahy, 15 points. Those three players scored 15-plus points, and that was actually the first time that has happened since 2020.
Really?
For the Wyoming Seminary boys basketball team. So incredible numbers, and this team is only on the uprise, I would say.
I would completely agree, Matt. I would completely agree.
Talking about, the defensive effort, too, which often goes unnoticed for SEM boys basketball players. Players like Jaden Arterberry always getting after it. And players off the bench like Cash Hanson Richards, sophomore for SEM boys basketball, number 13. Recently, I caught up with him to talk about his incredible chase down block against Noah Dewey. Cash, at some point during the game, you had an incredible, LeBron James-esque chase down block on Noah Dewey of Hanover. How were you able to make that play? And can you describe what was going through your head as you're coming down to block your shot?
Well, in practices, we always do 2-on-1 transition defense. And I just timed up the pass up to the shot. And then I just put it on the backboard and the film shows the rest. Shifting
our tone over to SEM Girls Wrestling, SEM Girls Wrestling, national powerhouse. Honestly, I'd say that's an understatement for them. Just completely dominant. And because of that, they don't really get a whole lot of opportunities to showcase their talents at home in front of the home crowd. But they did over the weekend against the Virginia All-Star team. Shout out to them for coming down and wrestling a really good duel with the SEM girls. But just, overall, really great performance for the Wyoming Seminary Lady Blue Knights. Big wins from seniors Amelia Murphy and Isis France. And also some really big wins from senior Mary Manis and freshman Emma Grimes. So just top to bottom, SEM Girls Wrestling is just a really good team. That's really the only thing I could say.
It's really the only way you can put it, to be honest.
There's so many, I don't think I have the words to describe how good SEM Girls Wrestling is, but it's just really, it's a privilege to be able to see them do what they do best. Watch Coach Brett Fry and Coach Nina Pham do all the things that they do to make that team just elite. We're actually going to cut to an interview that I just did recently with SEM senior Amelia Murphy, who had a pin over the weekend. Really good performance from her. Now we're going to see what she has to say.
Here with SEM girls wrestling senior Amelia Murphy after their big wins on Saturday against the Virginia All-Star team. Amelia, you and a lot of your teammates had pins on Saturday. Really good performance from you and everyone else on your team. How do you guys make the most of your opportunities, your few opportunities you get in front of the home crowd every year?
Yeah, so girls wrestling doesn't have a lot of opportunities just because we are a freestyle team and we don't wrestle folk style, so that does limit us. I think a lot of it is just what we put into the practice room and just a display of what we are really made of to show everyone at SEM. And then it's just kind of more so practice, I guess, just to show all the hard work we've been doing.
Talking more so about boys wrestling, I know they've obviously been having another historic season, beating number 1, Faith Christian Academy, and getting a win against top 10 ranked Blair. Very important SEM Blair rivalry, still very strong over here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt Batello, earning his 100th win during the season. That's obviously a big time accomplishment. I'm gonna keep it a buck here. I don't know too much about wrestling, but anytime you see the number 100 by something, it definitely means something of great significance. If you want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, for sure. That is a huge win for Chewy. I mean, he's been grinding since he got to this team, and it's just really good to see him get that milestone. Second time that's happened this year for Wyoming Seminary Wrestling is Cornell commit Jude Correa picked up his 100th career win in the Powerade Finals against Dawson Johnson. So Jude and Chewy have both been incredible wrestlers, just part of an incredible team, Wyoming Seminary Wrestling. I don't think, as the wrestling manager, I don't think we've reached our peak yet. I think as we go forward to state and national preps, I think you're going to see us look even better than we have. And I think a big part of that is because the guys on the team are just getting better as the season goes on. Shout out to junior Anderson Pallian, who over the weekend during our duel against St. Francis pinned his opponent in a match that I know he was really looking forward to, a match that I know everyone else on the team was looking forward to, because the guy he wrestled over the weekend pinned him at Powerade. And I know Coach Cornell's really been talking. I was like, hey, you got to win this match. You got to be good. I know you're better than that guy. And Anderson did a really good job, pinned his opponent over the weekend. Part of, I believe, a 63-3 dual meet win for the Wyoming Seminary Blue Knights over St. Francis of New York.
Incredible.
Multi-time state champions up in New York, but they put up a good fight. But when you're wrestling Wyoming Seminary, there's a lot of teams that just they put up a good fight, but SEM wrestling is SEM wrestling. That's really all I can say about that.
The standard is just standard.
Completely different standard than a lot of other programs.
For sure.
Finally, we're gonna shift things over to boys ice hockey. Really big game. We're talking about it all week on campus, raising money for a good cause for cancer awareness. And I know the entire boys ice hockey team wanted to put up a good show against their opponent. And Matt, can you tell us a little bit about how that game went?
Yeah, for sure, Jayce. Just to reiterate, absolutely tremendous effort by the boys ice hockey team, raising money for a great cause in their Hockey Fights Cancer Night this past Saturday at the Toyota Sportsplex, earning a 3-1 win over the Hoosac School. A lot of big contributions from all the hockey guys. And going into the game, Hoosac School is a pretty good opponent. Give props to them for coming to the Sportsplex and putting on a good performance. But just not enough. Like we said, SEM winning 3-1, and they've got a couple more home games this week. And SEM ice hockey isn't really around that much. The same could be said about girls wrestling, like we said. So if you get a chance, please make sure to head over to the Toyota Sportsplex. It's only about an 8 to 9 minute drive, something like that, from campus. And be sure to catch them put on the show.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to one of our goal scorers, Will Hay, SEM baseball legend. Good performance by him. And just like we said, overall great performance from the entire team. I know Hoosac's really good, so but they put out a really good performance and really proud of their showing there. I know I didn't get to see the game, Matt didn't either, but we heard from all the people out there. Environment was electric, and I know Matt and I are both really looking forward to seeing the hockey team at some point later this year.
For sure, and shout out to the SEM faithful for showing up to that game. Really proud of you guys.
All right.
Jayce, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
I think that is pretty much everything, yeah.
But yeah, guys, listen, thank you for listening. If you made it this far, we really appreciate your time to the first episode of the, SEM Sports Spotlight.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to call it. For now, I'm Matt Mascarenhas. That's Jayce Decker.
Jayce Decker.
And we appreciate your